Welcome back to the Real Estate, your weekly New York City real estate news roundup. I'm Christina Friscia, and this week I've got a lineup of captivating stories to keep you well informed about the ever-evolving world of New York City real estate. First up, we're diving into the Manhattan luxury market, where we'll uncover why activity has taken a tumble. Is it just a seasonal slowdown or something more? I've got the details. Then we'll cross the bridge into Brooklyn's luxury market, where things are dragging through September. Find out what's causing the slowdown and what buyers and sellers can expect. But it's not all borough bound. The city plans to pay housing subsidies outside of the 5 boroughs. I'll explain the implications of this move on housing affordability in New York. And have you ever wondered what happened to the Wears Prada's iconic townhouse? Well, it recently sold for a whopping $27 million. Stay tuned for the inside scoop. Plus, we'll discuss the New York attorney who's pled guilty to a $19 million real estate Ponzi scheme. And finally, we'll wrap up with some real estate optimism as Glenn Kelman, CEO of Redfin, believes home sales can't go much lower. Does this mean we're on a brink of a real estate rebound? All of this and more right here on the Real Estate. So stay tuned as we unpack the latest developments in the New York City real estate landscape. In our first story, Manhattan's luxury real estate market is experiencing a significant downturn. Volume in this high-end market has dropped to its lowest point in 3 years, painting a challenging picture for the borough's real estate scene. Last week, only 8 contracts were signed for homes with price tags of $4 million or more, marking the lowest total since August 15th of 2022. To make matters more concerning, the combined asking prices for these homes, totaling $45.4 million, hit their lowest point for a single week since July 2020, near the peak of the pandemic. The priciest property to find a buyer last week was the penthouse at 44 Lisbonard Street, with an asking price of $7.5 million. This triplex condo offers 3,200 square feet of living space, featuring 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. The top floor includes an office with a fireplace and opens onto a terrace with an outdoor kitchen, one of 3 terraces in this unit, offering a total of 1,200 square feet of outdoor space. Interestingly, there are no amenities within the building, and the seller paid $7 million for the unit back in 2018. The second most expensive property to enter contract last week was Unit 14AB at 21 East 90th Street, priced at $6.2 million. This 9-room co-op, which Olshan Realty reported went into contract immediately, boasts 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 3 fireplaces. Also features a spacious 32-foot living room and 24-foot great room, both offering stunning views of Central Park. 2 of the bedrooms open onto strip terraces, creating a unique living experience. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Of the 8 homes that found buyers last week, 6 were condos, 1 was a co-op, and 1 was a condop. The average asking price came in at $5.7 million with a median of $6 million. Yet, it's worth noting that even in this market, buyers managed to secure a 12% discount, and these luxury properties spent an average of 544 days on the market. Now, shifting our attention to Brooklyn, it seems that the luxury real estate market has faced some significant headwinds this September. According to Compass's weekly report, the borough saw 14 signed contracts last week for homes with price tags of $2 million or more. While this is a slight increase from the previous period, it's still a far cry from the robust numbers we witnessed earlier this summer. In fact, luxury contract signings in Brooklyn haven't surpassed 20 since July. The most expensive property to enter contract was 44 Geralman Street in Brooklyn Heights, listed at a substantial $5.7 million. This beautifully renovated townhouse includes 1,800 square feet of living space with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It also features wide plank white oak flooring and a custom marble fireplace, adding to its allure. Meanwhile, Unit 12B at Fortis's 30 Front Street in Dumbo secured the second spot with an asking price of $4.7 million. This 2,000 square foot condo, constructed in 2021, offers 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. What makes it even more enticing is its 845 square foot terrace, floor-to-ceiling windows, and an upper-level primary bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. Residents of this 33-story tower can also enjoy multiple lap pools, a fitness center, and even a tennis court. Olympia Dumbo, one of Brooklyn's priciest developments, continues to make headlines. This 76-unit condominium, which kicked off sales in 2021, boasts a projected sellout of a staggering $404 million. It's no surprise that several of its condos have previously dominated the weekly reports on luxury contracts in the borough. Of the 14 contracts signed, 9 were for condos and 5 were for townhouses. The average asking price for these upscale homes was $3 million, translating to $1,496 per square foot. Interestingly, these luxury properties didn't receive any average discounts from their initial asking prices and spent an average of 142 days on the market. Now for some uplifting news in the world of New York City housing. It's about to get a lot more affordable and a lot more expansive. Low-income residents of the Big Apple who qualify for housing subsidies are about to see their horizons broaden. According to Gothamist, these residents will soon have the opportunity to rent apartments in other parts of the state where rents tend to be more wallet-friendly and housing is often more readily available. And the best part, this expansion is set to begin as early as next week. Molly Park, the Department of Social Services Commissioner, expressed the significance of this move, stating that housing mobility is a fundamental right that most of us take for granted. The more options we can give people for housing, the more likely we're going to be able to help households move out of shelter. This new plan will extend to individuals and families holding vouchers under City FHEPS, a program designed to cover rent for New Yorkers moving out of shelters and certain low-income tenants on the brink of eviction. Under the program's terms, voucher recipients contribute 30% of their income towards rent, while the city's social services agency covers the rest. These vouchers are initially valid for 5 years, with an option to renew if recipients continue to meet the household income eligibility requirements. Park also mentioned that the city will adapt its maximum rent standards to align with the federal government's local fair market rates in other regions. This announcement follows months of record-breaking median rent prices within the city, coupled with a shrinking inventory of affordable housing units. While this initiative promises a brighter future for many low-income New Yorkers, the city's shelters have been grappling with an influx of new residents as people continue to flock to New York. With shelters now accommodating around 100,000 individuals, Mayor Eric Adams' administration is exploring options to exempt incoming migrants from the right to shelter rule, which mandates the city to provide a bed to anyone in need. It's important to note that incoming migrants currently do not qualify for city FHEPS vouchers. As of now, the city's social services agency has issued around 30,000 housing vouchers since the launch of the current city FHEPS program back in 2019. Now, let's dive into a slice of Upper East Side real estate history that recently changed hands for a whopping sum. The iconic townhouse at 129 East 73rd Street, famously featured in the Wears Prada, has been sold. Scoggin Capital Management founder Craig Efron and his wife Karen parted ways with this 12,000 square foot gem, and the numbers are nothing short of jaw-dropping. The Wall Street Journal reports that the sale rang in at $29.5 million, breaking down to an impressive $22.08 per square foot. What's particularly remarkable is the speed of this transaction. The Efrons acquired the property back in 2003 for $8.8 million and over the years have lovingly renovated it. When they listed it this past May for $27.5 million, little did they know within a mere 8 weeks, the deal sealed at the original asking price. Now, let's take a closer look at what this townhouse has to offer. With a generous 22-foot width, its layout includes 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 8 fireplaces, and not 1 but 3 inviting terraces. But the cherry on top is a top-floor basketball court, complete with a skylight that leads to a rooftop terrace, including a hot tub. Managing this high-profile sale was Adam Modlin of Modlin Group, while the buyer was represented by a Douglas Elliman team, including Corey Schuster and Arthur Maglio. Interestingly, the buyer wasn't swayed by the Hollywood history attached to this townhouse. Although it played a starring role as the home of Meryl Streep's character in the iconic 2006 movie The Devil Wears Prada, the buyer was more focused on securing a townhouse fit for entertainment. It's fascinating how this sale unfolded during a challenging period for Manhattan's luxury real estate market, with contracts' total value taking a dip. So while this townhouse's silver screen fame certainly added allure, its true value lies in its timeless elegance and potential for grand living, a testament to the enduring appeal of Manhattan's real estate treasures. Now, let's turn our attention to a case that has sent shockwaves through New York's legal and real estate circles. A 44-year-old New York-based attorney, Robert Woznicki, has recently pleaded guilty to a series of charges, including orchestrating a staggering $19 million real estate Ponzi scheme, alongside a conspiracy to commit money laundering. Woznicki, who operated under the banner of Woznicki & Associates LLP and Woznicki Newhouser LLP, utilized his law firms not for justice, but as tools to deceive investors. He coaxed them into real estate ventures while simultaneously masking the ill-gotten proceeds of healthcare fraud. These charges come with hefty penalties, potentially resulting in a maximum of 5 years in prison for each offense. As part of his plea agreement, Woznicki needs to make amends, agreeing to pay restitution amounting in a staggering $18.8 million. Now let's dive into the Ponzi scheme that rocked the foundations of trust. Woznicki's law firms, seemingly specializing in real estate transactions, played a pivotal role. Starting in 2007, he convinced existing clients, referred to as investor clients, to entrust their funds to him. But when these investor clients began experiencing losses, instead of being honest about the dwindling investments, Woznicki employed a classic Ponzi tactic. He used funds from other clients held in trust accounts to cover up the shortfalls, all while falsely reassuring his clients that their money was safe, even though he'd shuffled it to other accounts. To make matters worse, he roped in new clients, utilizing their funds to repay the previous investors. It was a cycle of deception that persisted until at least 2022, resulting in nearly $18.8 million in debt owed to the clients. And if that wasn't enough, Woznicki was entangled in yet another scheme, this time involving the laundering of proceeds from healthcare fraud. It was a sophisticated operation exploiting insurance loopholes, where medical service providers received unjust payments for treating car accident victims. Woznicki and his co-conspirators manipulated the system, siphoning funds for unnecessary treatments and resorting to deceit, even under oath to insurance representatives. As this complex case unfolds, it serves as a stark reminder that justice will be served, regardless of one's profession or scheme. Now let's end off by shifting our focus from the streets of New York to a national headline that's sending ripples across the real estate world. Glenn Kelman, the CEO of Redfin, has shared his insights on the state of the housing market, and they're causing quite a stir. In an interview with CNBC's Squawk on the Street, Kelman painted a vivid picture, describing the market as a slow-building disaster. He highlighted a critical concern, affordability, which he believes is at an all-time low. This, coupled with the Federal Reserve's commitment to higher interest rates, has led to a spike in 30-year mortgage rates, which now average at 7.51%. Kelman expressed his belief that the sales volume cramp in the market is here to stay. This is due to mortgage rates that have more than doubled since the early days of the pandemic and persistently high home prices. His remarks follow the recent S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Pricing Index, which revealed a shift from the declining trend seen earlier this year to a record high in July. He noted that the current movers in the market are primarily those who have no other option. Whether it's due to marriage, family, or work-related reasons, they are the ones compelled to make a move. However, Kelman maintains a glimmer of hope, suggesting that the end of the existing home sales drought may be on the horizon. In Kelman's own words, the only relief is that it can't get much lower. He also states that Redfin is adopting a survival mode strategy in these challenging conditions, taking inspiration from the Rambo quote, "day by day." He also sees profitability on the horizon for the company, as long as it continues to reduce costs and competes effectively in the residential market. Despite his aspirations, Kelman also shared difficulty of having to lay off employees. He mentioned feeling ashamed about the layoffs, but stated that it was necessary for the company's survival. Redfin faced its third wave of layoffs in April, resulting in 201 employees from the Seattle-based brokerage losing their jobs. And that's a wrap for this week's Real Estate. I hope you found these insights into the real estate market, both in New York and nationwide, informative and thought-provoking. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on New York City real estate and the national market trends. Don't hesitate to leave thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Your feedback matters, and it helps me bring the content that you want to see. Until next time, I'm Christina Friscia, and remember, innovation in housing starts with bold decisions. Thanks for joining me this week on The Real Estate. I'll see you next week.